let me know how it was. We're back, and man, we're going to see some changes. We're on the PBE. We're on the public beta environment. We're going to be checking out as much of Hui as we can do, as much of the map. I may just put one game into this champion because it's insanely complicated. I just want to show you guys what it's all about. You have access to 10 different spells. You have 9 spells by level 3, which is completely absurd. Only 3 per cooldown, right? They share their cooldown. You can only activate the Q, W, and E once, but each one can be activated in 3 different ways. So insanely complex champion, going to be impossible to balance. And for that reason, we'll probably just play the one game if we get him, and otherwise we will try to play things that we're more familiar with, so that we can focus on the map and we can focus on the things that are different. In the meantime, let's keep on reacting to Hikaru's doing a data analysis, statistical changes on what's being weighed in on the chess cheating. There's a former world champion that's slinging some amount of shade around there. You know what? I'm actually going to change this because there's no chance we're going to get to play this champ. Everyone's going to be queued up to play him. So, well, you know what? Mid is also going to be there. So, yikes, what do we want? So let's go top and something like Jax. Just something nice and classic. That's fine. Quick play definitely has some pros and cons. I don't like that they put you into 2 systems. I think the point is to just lay in wait. Like I'm a main. I just want to play something and just like let it go. Having 2 kind of defeats the purpose. I especially wish that it could be like option 1 is Ashe bottom, option 2 is Twitch bottom. You know, like I want to play bottom and I want to wait and I'll play either of these 2 champions, right? It was something like that. But who knows how it's gonna end up building out. I just don't like the system where it completely disincentivizes. Like, you can't actually be a one trick. You have to play across multiple roles, and I think quick play should be for the one trick. So like, no, like this is what I play. Just find me a game where I can be Yorick top lane and go from there. I don't know. We'll see. Secret call out, hashtag strat chat. Leave it in the comments section. What do you think is going to be the most imbalanced part of the preseason? There's going to be a completely new map, new void monsters, new items. Those are the big changes. I'm sure there's going to be some other ones. You're going to see them all right here, at least bit by bit. I'm having issues. My bank is making a mess of things. Online. Oh, I don't want that. Alright, we got Yaks with a Lilia. She's gonna be poking us. What do we want to do about a Lilia? Probably just all-ins. Conqueror versus Conqueror. She's gonna be able to kite us out. I have to be very careful about that.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
You know what? We're not here to win. We're here to test out everything that we can. So here's the new map. All right, long stretch right here on the map, so a little bit easier to go around from your buff. Jungle camps, you can go to a couple different exits now. That's definitely going to change things. The pit itself, this is going to change game by game. There's going to be 3 different pits. As they stand, you can see like the slight difference in the map there. This looks mostly the same. This bend looks the same. It's right here. So the pit itself looks mostly the same. There's a little bit. There's some characters that are going to be able to get over this wall now. We'll have to test this out. We'll have to see whether or not we're one of them. Okay, we can ward hop it.
Your dream calls to me.
What's up, Lilia? I'll let you push. That's fine. All right, so one of the things that's going to happen on PBE, I'm not sure that I got all my settings ported over, so one of the things that I'm trying to work on while I'm here. Oop. It's going to be my short trades, my movement in lane. We're going to be practicing some spacebar maneuvering. Definitely don't want to get hit by that. Definitely not worth. Away with first blood. Interesting. Oh, that's one of the things, one of the settings I missed was clicking on the map. Pretty sure I'm not supposed to stake that. Oops, I should have flashed in response to that for sure. Also, I don't know what I'm doing here with these summoners. Was that something I was able to control and I didn't?
I'll test their mettle against my fire.
I don't like this. That felt slow.
No sword and shield beats old faithful.
Oh boy, nope, that's awful. That ain't it.
An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
That's bad. What a joke. We're playing really poorly.
Enemy has been slain.
Go for a boiled egg right about now. This one's got fire.
Good stuff.
You did just lose to a guy with a lamp.
You did just lose to a guy with a lamppost, it's true. What's up, Medusa? How you been? The highest rank I've ever been was Diamond 5. Which, yep, that does mean it was way back when there was a Diamond 5. Wait, what's going on now here? 5 minutes in? What is this? Is this like the little void puppies? So 5... Did this spawn at 5 minutes? And is there a herald? Rift Herald. At 8. So let's see. This is going to spawn at 14 minutes. Void grubs respawns 4 minutes after it's killed. Oh, okay. They're trying to do this. I killed him. I don't know if killing him does anything for me, but I killed him. I think it does something. I've been playing... Well, let's see. So I played Dota. I played Heroes of New Earth. And then I came over at the end of Season 2 of this game. So all in all, we're talking probably 14 years? 15 years? 15 years playing MOBAs. How about you? Alright, did I get a bonus here? I killed those little things. Did anything come up? I don't think I got anything. I have no idea how those things work. That turret dealt less damage than I thought it might. I'll have to see whether or not they change those as well. Alright, so I would win the all-in against her, but she does kite me, right? So I need to try to deal some amount of damage without using my E. Season 10 and hit Chally this season? Dude, congrats, that's sick. Which game did you play high level? Fire was telling me before about it, but I don't recall. It was a while ago. Trying to frame perfect right here as best as I can. I want to basically just get this to crash. I want to build up my next wave if possible. It's going to be sitting here for a bit. Kind of shield her off. Not actually mandatory. You probably usually shouldn't even try to get an auto attack on Lilia after you cast your E. If there are minions around. This is the worst possible spot for these things to be. Never played too many video games. I played badminton at a high level. The next one is going to be lethal. We've got the heal to be able to chase. Not that we really want heal. Briar wants it. Yeah, this is an easy kill. We'll be able to dive. Ooh, I don't know about that. She's kind of in a pinch right now. Ooh, nice. Totally. I mean, is she really going to stay here?
Sky looks mighty free of void. You're welcome.
So the thing is... I'm not sure that I needed to do that for her. Here's the cane. I don't have much. Oh, this is weird. We're gonna have to ignore that and just get this wave in.
An enemy has been slain.
Started working with Coach Curtis. Okay, cool. Good for him. So I thought he was like an Apex player, right? What is this? Glowing moat? Okay. Sheen has 10 ability haste on top of it. This is not worth it. This is worse than it was. Interesting.
Next fool to ask about my face gets a mouthful of lamp.
Yeah, what are your goals for season 14? We just got the news today that we got a couple teams opting out of the LCS. Things are going to get restructured a little bit. This is my first time on the PBE in a while.
You cruising for a bruising?
All right, the void grubs are there again, and she's there.
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. Killing spree.
All right, we want to pick a fight. This bush right here is so weird now. I mean, it makes it very obvious where you're trying to ward now, which is kind of bizarre. Get this up. Ooh, it still gets me through. You're going for LEC Academy? Dude, that's sick.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Alright, so killing each of these three, what does it do? Enemy team has slain the void grub. So I saw this earlier, where like being next to a turret means like, or just anywhere, like little void puppies would just kind of spawn out of you. Try with this little moat. See if we can feel it. 5 ability haste is basically garbage, right? It does nothing. This is better late game than it is early.
Love sitting around the lamplight.
Do you have an in already, or are you trying to get tryouts?
Bad guys. Learned every weapon, bested every opponent.
You have slain an enemy.
Still back to wallop after all this time.
An enemy has been slain.
Trying to get an in so hard. You know who might be a good resource for you if you're actively looking not just for coaching but also someone in that environment? Coach Chippies, are you familiar with him? I mean, I'm obviously happy to help you, but that's someone who's been in that position and who has been. I don't know if I actually want this on. Can you stun? No, he's just running, which means I'm boned. Nice, I love the shield. Am I still gonna die to this tick though? It's gonna be close. Nope, there we go, just enough.
Enemy double kill.
Narrow miss, that's too bad. Moat, glowing moat. Dude, we've got all the projectiles. But yeah, let's see what else we got going on. So next item after we get, well, we'll take a look at Triforce. We'll take a look at what the other recommended items is going for, because I want to get recommendations for the more new items. Like what the hell is Thunder Sky? You know, first attack against a champion crits for 150% and heals. That's probably pretty good for our empowered attacks. I let her out of my reach. I can't catch her now. 5 seconds from now, though, I should be able to. It's going to be really close. Easy.
Good try.
But you know what? This is something I shouldn't be doing right now. Because in this game... Oh, hello. Oh my goodness. What is this going to do? This is going to completely change the ganks. So 15 minutes. It says that there's a respawn timer here. Oh, are the void puppets going to show up as well? I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, Coach Chippy's. So it's Chippys. He has a YouTube channel with a lot of free content. I highly recommend checking him out.
You have slain an enemy.
Beep. Beep. But he's mostly for top lane. What's your main lane? Oh, could I have bought this last time and I just missed it? Probably. Alright, Steel Sigil. Attack damage and armor. Alright, good. I'm glad that they gave us a build-up item for this. Alright, let's buy something interesting, something new. These look like they're the same. I'd be disappointed if they changed them. What's this? The first attack against the champion crits for 150% and heals for a big portion of your health. So this is going to be good for anyone with empowered attacks, assuming it hits that.
Destroyed a turret.
Let's try it out. Let's see what we get.
Might have to make another heroic last stand.
I started off mid lane, but rolled swapped top to get Chally. Okay. Yeah, mid is the most contested role.
Enemy has been slain.
Now that jungle is going to get nerfed, mid is going to take back over as the most contested role for carrying games. Top is much easier. It's much more defined and much easier to...
You have slain an enemy.
I never get tired of a worthy fight.
Shut down.
My champ can play both. Who's your champ? Yeah, Medusa. Are you playing Cassiopeia?
You got
An ally has been slain.
Alright, so I would want to look for short trades. I do not want that. She cannot kill me here. That's really far. That's really ballsy of her to continue that trade out. Gosh, this bush is so bizarre.
I'll test their metal against my fire.
An ally has been slain.
This bush is also different. Alright, this bush is going to be the most important bush to ward for sure. So we'll go ahead and stick this down now.
No sword and shield seems so faithful.
No fruities for me. Alright, let me try to find this thing. Why are the trinkets, why are the items not working quickly?
Picked up a few tricks during the wandering.
I want to show mana costs. I want to show timers. Man, there's so much I need to clean up. I thought I got everything earlier and it's like just not even close. Oops.
At least make me try.
Vlad, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Alright, Jinx. Okay. Jinx. My goodness. What a play. I want to get into a fight with this Hui character. He's got 9 spells. Getting used to all the visuals is going to be kind of crazy. Obviously didn't want that.
My old name.
That's so slow.
An enemy has been slain.
What was that? That's distance. You one-shotted Dante's Hecarim? Nice. Dante makes a lot of mistakes. I'm actually surprised he's able to get as high as he does, but he's got quick hands. He reacts really quickly to skill shots.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
You've absolutely rolled Caps, Niski, and Magifelix. Dude, if that's the case, then you're absolutely going to get picked up. Do you friend request those guys after games? Most times that they'll accept you, especially if you beat them, they'll like instantly get respect for you.
Shut down.
I mean, Magifelix lives at rank 1, you know, like, so Caps and solo queue is notorious for limit testing, so you can never really know if he's just limit testing in his games. But Magifelix is, you know, perma. He's a mainstay. Yeah, okay, good. It's important to note, you know, those guys are still they're gonna get their share, but just the fact that you're able to get that, I mean, gives me a good idea of where you're at. The big thing about being picked up by a team is you have to open up your champ pool, right? You need at least 5 champions that you are, you know, I'm not gonna say world class on, but I could have actually gotten that R off in time, and if I do that, then I would be able to.
Your team has destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. You have slain an enemy.
Oh, what was that fear? Okay. Gosh, getting used to this champion's gonna be tough, because you have to like notice what all the spells are and everything. Gonna be tough for a couple weeks. Caps is a feeder. Caps is limit testing. Caps is limit testing so that he can do what he did to Yagao at Worlds, or was it Jiaohu? Must have been Jiaohu. Like he's testing his limits at all times, which is how you should treat solo queue if you're going to be a pro. But you have to get noticed, right? So you want to be able to clap these guys. You have to beat them, but you also have to show that you can do it on about 5 champions. If you have 5 champions, they'll trust your ability. But most of the time, if your mechanics are sound enough, you should be able to apply general concepts pretty easily. And that's where getting coaching will help you the most, because you'll just like fast track all of those things, right? Make sure that you're applying them and not just doing everything through the lens of Vladimir, you know? Okay. Did not expect him to have any real tools. I mean, he has that one fear, right? So he has one tool for getting past that. Still going to be tough to say. Like, obviously, anyone playing Wei, we're not going to assume that they know what they're doing yet. Just totally walked into that. You Flame Horizon, Jigenda, nice.
Killing spree.
Perks is probably the most like solid player, right? He's just solid all the time. He's just always very good. Caps is limit testing, but like that game where he played Nico, and you could see it within the game. Now I don't know how much of it was tilt, whether or not they like tried to get a review from the umpires and they just wouldn't give it to him when he used the cannon to tank the turret.
Shut down.
But that whole game, he was just constantly changing forms, making tricks, being plants, being cannons, being like random things. He showed complete mastery on Nico, which you only get by limit testing, right? So by limit testing, he finds out all the things that you can do, and then he played that champion at a level that no one had seen prior to that. And then by the time you get to the knockout stage or semifinals from that point on, they
Enemy rampage.
permabanned it, right? It didn't see the light of day. And it's because someone plays it at that level, and then within 2 weeks, all the pros are expected to have it. So that's sort of the time frame that you have to be on if you're going to be a top player. You have to be willing and able to pick things up that quickly.
An enemy has been slain.
Always a reason to keep on keeping on. Felt lost before, but you know, I never felt defeated. Give me your back.
Is it just me, or did she just fire that rocket, or was that Wei throwing something?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
That is such a huge item right there, this Rectix, whatever this is. I have to find it now. 900 gold for an extra 4% move speed, so this is usually going to be 12 to 16.
Now it's my turn.
That's going to be such a big item. Right? Like, you, especially since, oh man, you can just play these. I bet this is going to be a meta item.
An enemy
We'll see what it builds into. I mean, it looks like it's just going into lethality and hullbreaker. So it's getting, rather than the winged moonplate. But for AD carries, for example, that want to just kite around the fight, like going into any fight and just adding that, especially since you don't have access to stopwatch anymore, it looks like it's going to be good.
ally has been slain.
The world won't
Shut down.
I want to see the void puppies.
I was mighty free of void. You're welcome.
They coming? They don't want to come. They never want to come.
Place where I
3 limit test it, 16,000 health. We don't have any vamp. It'd be close. Bug on PBE where they can cast ults on basically 0. Oh, okay. Yep, that'll do it. I thought that maybe one of them was Wei. Like, Wei has one super long range ability, right? Like, corner map. Don't quote me out. Just going by based on what I've seen.
These old bones haven't failed me yet. Key to being the best, knowing your rest.
Boring game? Yeah. Oh, let's see. I played against Broken Blade, but it was whatever. We barely interacted in lane. Just held a freeze. His jungle broke. That he did to me. Boring game. Well, I mean that's part of the thing. Especially if you have that clout, right? You get to make those calls. You get to pull people over. What else is it recommending for me?
Unstoppable.
Zonia's would be a classic. So this is the new item that's just kind of building it in. I kind of like that they've done this. We'll go for it.
Sitting around the lab.
Just feel out the build path, right? It's way more money now. Amp tomes are only 400, so this is 1600 to get this bit if you want the activation.
Dominating.
Next fool to ask about my face is a mouthful of lamp.
What did I think about Nice when he was a coach? I think his knowledge is fine. A lot of people give him a lot of flack, and the fact that he wasn't able to get Challenger again you know, it sucks, but that doesn't mean he can't coach. That said, the things about coaching that I don't think he was good at was like the communication and the implementation of a strategy, right? Like when you want to learn something, let's say I'm coaching tennis. I'm dead. If I'm coaching tennis and I want to teach you a forehand and I want you to get a world-class forehand and I show you Novak Djokovic's forehand, I'm not just gonna like show you everything about it and expect you to get everything, right? Like you have to take certain elements, be like, all right, first let's work on the preparation. What is he doing to get himself into such a good spot? Boom, he's here. Then he has a certain amount of fitness that he's making sure that this is super elastic and flexible. And then when you're here, now, all right, now let's work on connecting. And now that we have this structure in place, now we'll work on a drive and a follow through, right? And just go for pure contact, not even aiming. Then you go and you start adding targets. Then you put it all together, right? And you start piecing things together. And you can do elements of each part of that by playing like mini games. And, you know, especially when you have a training partner, that's why I think that teams should move to 10-person rosters. Like having an academy team, it's fine to call it an academy team, but it should be your bench players. Like you should be swapping that environment. You're 5 versus 5. You could take your top jungle, or your top and mid, swap teams and play your bot lane and jungles together as a team against the top tier players, and you actually get really good practice that way. Yeah, it's great, right? Exactly for the people that he was attracting. You know, let's say you're an architect and you work 40 hours a week and you have plenty of disposable income and you just want to get better in a short amount of time. And you just want to say, yeah, like I enjoyed this hobby. This is how I decompress. Then yeah, there's no reason to not play someone like Nice. Would I want him near my team? No. But there's a lot of things that he does well, and also the coaching that he did do, you can't discount the amount of experience that you get. You get feedback, you get lessons. Yeah, this Jinx is actually just flying his her ult. Like that stuff adds up, right? And that matters for sure. Cannot be discounted. I think these games are a little bit low. What is this? Speed buffs? I coached Fire from Silver 4 to Plat 2 in 10 days. Nice. Yeah, I mean, if he's coming from Apex Legends and he's got good hands, anyone with good hands should get to Diamond very quickly. Because the things about the game, like if you play one champion and you play 50 games on one champion and you have good hands, there's no real reason that you should stop climbing in solo queue. The hands part is the hardest thing to train. The game knowledge can actually be broken down very easily and very succinctly.
I'll test their level against my pride.
Shut down. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
No sword and shield.
He just plays everything. I told him a ton not to. Yeah. I mean, it's more fun. And depending on what you want to get out of the game, if you want to have fun, you know, variety play is totally fine. That's lying to me. I don't know what your abilities do. Whoa, that was a big damage spike. What was that? That looked like a Q. That probably looked like QQ, right? No, QQ is the line spell. QW is the one that's targeted and like a Swain bubble. That looked like it must have been QW. We didn't get this off, which is a shame. I am unfamiliar with Coach Curtis' Academy Discord. The thing about coaching and the price points is very, very difficult because the type of people that are buying, it's mostly, we'll call college age people, and college age people, so the best players are between 18 and 22. They are not the wealthy ones, right? They don't have expendable income when you're coming out of college. So it's very hard to price.
Has been slain.
Whereas like
Tricks during my wandering.
who should be footing the bill are the parents, but a lot of the parents don't believe in gaming, and you know there's a lot of issues that come in there. It's a very, very difficult like market to figure out.
An enemy has been slain.
That's a very interesting blast cone placement. What are all these things across the map? So is this just the Infernal map? Like you're picking up charges? Infernal Cinders. This unit has increased ability haste from collecting cinders. Okay. This is super obnoxious. Like I would hate to play against someone just throwing Jinx ultimate left and right.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
Is anything else different? That was a cool animation. Oh, goes up like that. It's like a fizz shark. I'll save his life. He's also like 15-0 on Nefiri, and he's not even that good yet. Yes, champions like Nefiri are fantastic for pub stomping. And they have such a high ceiling with all the maneuvers that you can make, especially with when their entire kit is gated on your ability to hit your spells. Using the pups, etc. But certainly, yeah, when you're climbing, one champion is best. When you're trying to audition though, right, when you're trying to make it onto a team, you're trying to try out, you need to have more. You absolutely need to have at least 5 that you can perform on, because you need to survive through a pick ban phase, and then those need to be the ones that you are like super confident that my team can build around me. Normally it's a role, like for example, if you're Odoamne, it's tanks, like very comfortable in every tank. You can play Maokai even when Maokai meta is jungle. You're happy to play him top, and you're happy to battle that way, right? Like that's something you can do, making sure that you are a professional level player on all of the tanks. And then you want to have something that you are a threat on, and you need to be able to pick up anything that becomes meta, right? Your team needs to be able to count on you for those things. All right, let's see what else we can do. Let's do something like Tom Kench top. So can I? Oh, I can split this. Okay. I don't like this system. I really don't. Adam is the best top laner. Although Alois is gonna have a field day on Riven for a little bit, but Adam is another animal, and he plays the game that I think it should be played, the way it should be played. High tempo. He makes extremely aggressive trades. He knows the limits on every combat and every champion. He gleans extra auto attacks all the time, and he moves. That's the most important thing, right? Whereas someone like Alois is just going to take top lane, and he's going to stack waves, crash, proxy once the jungler is seen on the other side of the map, recall, do it again. Great for solo queue. For team environments, that is not the way you play, right? That is good for getting an individual lead in the lane, but you see that someone like Summit has not had great success despite being a very high performing player individually. He's never had team success, And largely, I think it's because he just exists in his lane. He doesn't know how and when to maneuver over. And for example, so if I go over, you guys might appreciate this. I use a Dungeons and Dragons role-playing map to create League of Legends. Well, you see his post. I mean, he deleted it, but you see the post that he made in response to M&S. So M&S went off on Cloud9, and then Summit said, "You think you've got it bad? I need to work with a Ziggs one trick," or something like that. Like, I did as best as I could with a Ziggs one trick as a mid laner, and it's just like, guys, this is not what you're supposed to be doing with your teammates. All right, freehand. So when you're playing top lane and the way that these guys play, right? It's here, gain an advantage until you can like triple stack a wave, crash it, then you have options of recall versus proxy. If you see the jungler here, they're moving back. Something that is completely outside of their play scope, or at least I've never seen it. I'm sure they're capable of doing it. You can create that same thing, this stacked wave. Let's say it's level 6, and rather than going and proxying, you could come back here. Now, this tends to coincide with the 7-minute cannon wave anyways, which is perfect for various reasons. But you come over here, and let's say you're Kled, right? A fantastic option would be to all in with Kled and getting 4 or 5 players versus 2 or 3. And you just slam them on this turret. Absolutely crush them. And then you teleport back, right? Like, that should be something that is scoped into the game as a movement. Or you don't teleport, and instead your team takes this momentum. They go here, your bot lane recalls, they come over this way, you go over, you start pushing up mid, you go for fight for the Herald, and then you move the lanes over, you let the AD carry pick up the Herald. That way they can get more money in their pocket, and you take it to whichever turret is less defended, probably top lane, because you're probably against just one, right? The 2 people here are probably desperate to get back to their lane to pick farm up. So now you've got a level 7 top laner versus 2 5s coming back to a lane. So you still have all-in threat again against these champions if they screw up, depending on the champions, obviously. You also have your teleport, so if any fight does break out here, you can teleport here and you can come back in. And this sort of rotation is something I don't see ever in pro play, because all I see pro players doing is this: push, crash, proxy, recall, teleport, don't miss any minions. It's all about your own spot on the map, and that's just leaving a lot on the table, in my opinion. I believe that there's a much higher tempo that you can play this game at, and it's just completely off the radar of most of these players, because they do what's safe in solo queue, and most of their critics are solo queue players, right? In fact, 100% of the fans are people who play solo queue. They're not people who play pro, so they would have no concept of it. They'd be quick to flame you, and I think that that's part of the psyche of like why they don't want to do it. Also, the attitude in North America, right? Every pro player that I've spoken with and coach, when I talk about innovation, their answer is the same: if it's good, Riot will patch it out. And it's just like they're so dejected to try to innovate. They think that anything that they do will get negated.
Minions have spawned.
It's very slow. Did this not give me attack speed? It did give me attack speed. APA is underrated though. He'll be the best mid NA with JoJo soon. Yeah, I mean, JoJo's a step above. JoJo also has levels, but JoJo doesn't always summon up the best version of himself. So it's very inconsistent, right? When he decides to clap, like his Gragas game in, what was it, second game of the summer split this year?
That aroma seduces.
In that game, he just went to another place. And rumor was that in comms, 45 seconds into the game, he said, I won the lane already. This guy is completely afraid of me. Right? And like that level of confidence and that level of performance is not something that you can you can recreate easily. API I've got no complaints with, but the only time I've seen him play at a special level is with Ziggs. How am I this knowledgeable without ever being higher ELO? Did you just study the game instead or play? So I come from a background, I played 2 sports at a D1 level in college. I played soccer and tennis. So I've been around performance aspects. I'm a coach's son. I was a captain of a team. So I've been around all of the conceptual things that you can pass around from game to game, as far as like what it is to be a leader, what it is to work as a team. You know, what I have very good pattern recognition, and those elements I used in video games. The problem is I actually have a very slow processor. I never was a good tester. For example, if something was a timed thing, I had a little bit of dyslexia where, like, it still happens today. If I'm typing that, I will often write TAHT or ATHT, just like things will just kind of jump out of place sometimes. When I'm playing, the same sort of thing happens in my games where I'm thinking I want EQ just like immediately. I don't know. I can't be sure that it's not lag, but I assume that there's some mix of that where I just go and fumble, and basically it amounts to what a button masher would do. And so I try not to button mash, and I try to like calm that down within myself. But I'm 38, you know, like climbing was my priority at a time, and especially in Heroes of Newerth. In Heroes of Newerth, I had a Grandmaster rank. Or equivalent. They had like an ELO system. They didn't do Grandmaster and Master like this game does, but they had ELOs. And once it got to this game and getting to Diamond, one-tricking, it became clear to me, like, well, I must have been, 32 or 33? I'm not going to go pro. I'm not going to get any accolades for being a high ELO player. Maybe it helps me stream, and it probably, almost definitely would help me acquire more clients being a higher ELO. But you know what's funny is no matter what ELO I'm playing in, when you say you're a coach, they'll always the response is you need to be at least a level higher, right? They'll always just say like you got to be the higher level to be a coach, and there's some truth to that. Like you expect them to have a basic understanding of everything that's going on in the game. But and like for example in football and hockey and basketball as well, they expect you, they let coaches coach one tier higher than they played. So for example, Bill Belichick played center at college in, I think it was Division 1, and he wasn't good by any means. His coach, his dad was a coach at Navy, so he learned a lot and he had a lot of knowledge, and he had to work really hard to get where he got, but he had no physical talent. So I'm the no physical talent version of a league player. That's where I'm coming from. And yes, I could rededicate myself to climbing, but if I do that and I just play one champion, then I'm necessarily weakening my knowledge pool of everything else that's going on, and that's not worth it to me. At least in my opinion. Some people might say that yes, it's worth it, like you have to be diamond or I'm gonna ignore you. So, you know, it's a trade-off. There's balances, but for me, family's gonna be number one. So anything happens around the house, doorbell gets rung, I got a call, doctors, lawyers, you know, like there's a lot of stuff in my life. Those things are gonna come first. Then I'm gonna work on, you know, getting my son. He's enjoying League of Legends. He wants to be a pro player. He's 9. So I'm going to show him, and I'm going to like talk, right? And I'm not going to play my best while I'm streaming. That's every streamer knows that. Why is this going so slow? But the cool thing about APA is that he came up the way that you'd want people to come up, right? Collegiate, academy, just like making it through the ranks and actually proving his worth and climbing that way, right? Like you'd think that that's the route, like that's kind of the route that you want to take. While I'm here, I'm gonna start working on some of my clicks. So for example, me clicking, I'm very bad at these micro movements. You're gonna see that I get hit by more skill shots than anybody you've ever seen play, especially at your level. But like understanding what to do with this wave, yeah, I can tell you what to do with this wave, you know? Like here we go, we've got a double stacked wave. I've got no fighting pressure against him, although he's got no kill pressure against me either. So I don't need to worry about any of this. I just know that he's stuck in a pushing situation, and now he's Yorick, and his only tool for getting away from a gank is a very bad form of CC. So if I can just fight this and keep this here, and just hold this freeze while Karthus comes out, then I'm going to be in a good spot. And on top of that, right, Karthus, I'll tell you, if you farm perfectly on Karthus, at least live, I don't know about what's going on in preseason, but you can get out with a leash at 259. If you're solo, you can get out by about 306, 307. And you don't need to have particularly perfect mechanics either. So this guy's late in my book, but the way I wanted this lane to play out is I want the lane to get here at the same time as Karthus finishes his jungle path. And that would create the ideal amount of pressure for me where we can go for this all in, and there's really nothing that Yorick can do about it. I missed. You know, knowing how many turret shots to take, knowing what you can shield, like that sort of stuff, you know, you can pass that along from champion to champion to champion, you know, all those elements. Right here, if I'm asking Karthus to play at a pro level or a team mindset on 100%, he should be helping me push. Because right now, this situation kind of sucks. Where I'm feeling like I have to get back out of this lane. Death timers are, what, 2 seconds at this stage of the game? With the new changes. So now what it forces me to do is play in this awkward state where I'm not comfortable enough versus a fight. I can still probably get away because it's just Yorick, but I basically have to live with this lane, this amount of threat right here, assuming that he won't chase me. Now he probably doesn't know that he can chase me anyways, but this is enough. But that's like if I'm in the scope of trying to just win on a PBE game. Obviously, I'm not trying to do that. I want to try to learn more stuff. So let's take a peek at more things that are going on. Let's find more recommended. We've got Nunu, Hui. All right, so we're gonna be totally fine. We could go boots. Let's just go and try to kick his butt a little bit. Would you teleport here? What do you think? Have I heard of APA men? Tell my son. Yeah, my son mutes all. APA men. Oh, is it not on here? Maybe it should be. I mean, it definitely should be. Okay, it is.
Now we shall.
Now, like this shot right here that Yorick just did, it looks like he hit me with good harass, right? But there's a severe downside that he just gave up. Like the opportunity cost of hitting me means that he doesn't have those ghouls anymore, right? So he's like lost part of his insurance policy, and that's something that he would tend to need to be totally cognizant of. Oh yeah, W out of base, 100%. You're spot on. That is something that is streamer mode. Let's try to get the kill shot on this thing. Get the extra 50 gold. Another thing I've been working on is using tilde more often. Some people bind it to their mouse buttons. The champion only target. That's something that I don't use nearly enough. But yeah, 100%, something like using W out of base, that's the sort of thing that falls by the wayside when I'm thinking more about what am I learning from this game? What am I trying to gain out of like this PBE environment? Alright, he's inting. I'm not gonna let him in. Screw that. I shouldn't have even hit him. Is he inting for the wave state? That'd be hilarious. Alright, what should I go with? So always here, and then the rest. I'm also actively reading, yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind missing a W cast, especially like right now. I'm not pressuring myself to win. God damn it. So like right here, right? Simple thing. Don't attack the dude. Don't let him in. Maybe I'll just put him out of his misery, I guess. I'll put this on cooldown just so that it makes it a little bit more for the person who wants to come in. This is dumb though. But yeah, no one's gonna care because it's PBE. Yikes. You like singing and playing piano while you play League? Dude, piano players, huge League buff. I think you'll agree. Alright, come on, man. Dude, learning the piano is a magnificent thing. Great for your brain, great for your hands. Stretching your fingers out. Access to the U and the I keys, you know, with your left hand. Alright, let's take a peek. What else do we have here? Tank items. Trailblazer. 250 health, 40 armor, 5 movement speed. While moving, gain 2% bonus move speed at max speed. Create a trail that speeds up allied champions' move speed by 15% of yours. That's fantastic. Your next attack discharges, so it's Dead Man's Plate.
Let us eat voraciously and overindulge.
Oh, I should have gone and fought for those. Absolutely. Okay. Alright, what else can we test here? Which of these walls we can jump over? I also didn't put any words out while I was pushing. I'm a scrub. But honestly, like, as far as the stuff about learning, there's always more. That's the beauty of, I think, coaching in general, psychology in general. You can always become a better mental warrior. There's just always more you can gain. There's other things you can add, right? You can add the elements of skullduggery. You can bamboozle your opponents. You can learn more about cooldowns. You can learn more about like your optimization states. You can figure out, hey, like I perform best on this amount of anxiety. Small things like that.
Something to nibble on.
Dominating.
I shall return to this establishment shortly.
Hey, let's make sure to connect after this though, okay? Because we've crossed paths a couple times, but I never managed to get you onto Discord. Why don't you add me on Discord so we can make sure to keep touch after this.
The only real sin is to deny a craving.
I personally think I got really good at playing into counter matchups, making counter matchups look like they went the other way. Well, that tends, if you know a champion inside and out, what ends up happening is you get all the people who are, you know, database counterpicking. They're trying to match you with whatever the database says to do. And so your mastery is worth more than their database is, right? And that's what tends to happen in solo queue. That won't happen in pro. In pro, if someone knows the counter and they know they've spoken to the one trick on both sides, and they'll know exactly how it plays out, why it plays out that way, etc., etc. All right, let's just have some fun with this. Oh, we have another one. Magic resist. We have a magic resist item. Okay, base health regen, immolate. They both have immolate. After taking or dealing damage, do 35 health magic damage. Slightly less, desolate. Killing enemy deals damage around them. This has significantly better stats. Yeah, let's try it. It's actually like perfect for this game too. This says killing an enemy, so we're talking about minions too. So where every minion kill is going to turn into a Tristana splash. If so, then that's a huge deal for a champion like Shen. Like Shen has a lot of trouble with clearing waves. Getting that extra little bit of help will go a long way. Let's take a look at this map. Let's wander around a bit.
Every heart has its own hunger. Tell me yours. No true hunger can be denied.
If someone wants to pick this up, they're more than welcome to. There's a good chance this is warded. I might just be sitting on a ward here.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Should I limit test? Kind of want to limit test.
Every river ends in rain.
Mine. Not like we earned it. Oh, I split the uprights. That's no good. I am canceling my Q and I don't know why. Dude, these guys are not good.
I refuse to succumb to culinary degradation.
Dude, this damage is pretty intense. I just want to have a little party down here, guys. There's the fear. The fear's out.
A bargain is due.
Can I get the rundown on Hui? All right, so the basics of it are that each of his abilities has to be recast and has 3 different modes. The 3 different modes are the QWE. You have access of those instantaneously, but you use your cooldowns once. So QQ, QW, or QE, you can cast any of those, and each one of them is the unique cooldown for Q. The Q spells are damage spells, so that right there was his QW. QE is kind of like a mini Rumble ult. QQ is like a Karma mantra. W is utility spells, so you make like a power-up circle, you can give enhanced auto attacks. And the E is more like crowd control. I want to say they're all crowd control abilities. So you have like you're going to see teeth come up and yank people in, kind of like it's a set standing in there and just clapping people together. And then the ultimate, how do I describe it? The ultimate's just a big line shot. And I actually haven't read the rest of the text, but, you know, just one of those things that shoots like this. It's a Phelios Mage, 100%. Or if you played Invoker in Dota, it's Invoker in Dota. So yeah, 100% Aphelios Mage, super dark, sinister character, inspired by Jin, specifically inspired by Jin's massacre. So super edgy character. Hunting the little man. He's gonna be able to make it around if he wants. Let's do this little test here. Okay, good to know. Alright, we're not gonna taste that guy anymore. Alright, Yorick's back in the game. We accept. We can go after Yorick now. Alright, they're right there. There's the little rumble ult, so that was his QE. Oh, the ult is like a fizz. It's like a fizz ult. Except it creates like a... I don't know if it creates a stasis around it. There's the EE right there. That was like a little chomp pulling people together.
From suffering, my banquet is born.
He's going to be a mid laner. Almost 100%. He's probably going to be broken in half because he has 9 spells at level 3. So, like, you know... Take that for what it's worth. Warmogs gives move speed. Okay, I can get behind that. He doesn't do anything well other than play with Senna, in my opinion. I always thought Tom never had a place since they tampered with him. Yes, got you. I misread that. Yep, 100%. He is fine. He was actually too strong as a top laner, and he needed to get nerfed. And then, so they moved his E power. It was a good change to change his Devour to the ultimate. That was, like, mandatory. Because he was way too good at playing 1-3-1 support, where you could just gobble on E cooldown, right? And it was like 22 seconds. It was nothing. Right, so you're just like, once per wave, I can defend against a dive. Yes, please. Being an ultimate makes it much more viable. Then it was too tuned for the 1v1s. He was just absolutely crushing 1v1s. Oh, let's take a look at this new map. All right, so here's this, woo! Love it. New Void Scuttler, new Baron. So here's a new pit. This will completely change the champions that are good. Can you imagine a Renata ult scooting across this now? It's actually worse. Like, it's going to be so nice to throw it through this channel, but now that people have an evacuation route, this map's going to be much worse for champions like Ornn, Lissandra, and... Hey, I missed. I missed again. My old hands. So he can't use 9. He has access to 9. He can only cast 3 though. But the thing is, he can choose whether or not it's any of his 3 Qs, any of his 3 Ws, or any of his 3 Es. And that's where the power is going to come from, is the decision making. Limit test time. Can't 1v4. What a surprise. It doesn't look like he has a high mana cost. We can kind of take a peek at him right here. So his E, I think his EQ is like a fiddlestick sphere. Maybe it's a line shot. His WE is enhanced auto attacks like Nami E. His EE is the chomp. WQ puts out like a little field that I think is like Kiana grass. WW puts out a thing that creates like a I'm not sure about all of them. You want to see the rundown, and you're gonna definitely want to play the champion because it's that level of complexity. But yeah, it's going to be kind of crazy. This is his QE, #1 wave clearing spell, right? So you throw like a mini rumble ult out like that, or a cog. You know, I guess, yeah, it's better described as a rumble ult because it keeps on burning. So these little void puppets are the things that come out of you because they killed the little things. I don't know if that happens all game or not. It's pretty cool though. It's going to change the value of Belveth. Hey. I want it. You don't want it? I want it. Let's do it. Okay, good to test that. Even though it has a delayed cast time, it's not like a buffered jump the way that Tristana jump is. I'm just gonna eat all these up because there's nothing they can do. There's all of Wei's abilities, by the way. So now that he's cast all of his abilities, they are all on cooldown, okay? So he has unique cooldowns. It's not like if you cast QQ that you'll have access. Guy wondering why I ate him over the wall. It's hilarious. We'll wait for this blind. He's burning. Yeah, man. Maybe not. But that's right. Gotta go kill the rat. I'll try to hover this guy whenever I can to get an idea what his mana costs are. I don't think they're going to be high. You're still only casting 3 spells. That's the gating element. No, I don't want this. What is this? Alright, obviously the art on this got screwed up. After not taking magic damage for 12 seconds, gain a magic shield for a % of your health. Whoa. Seems pretty good for this game. Yeah, so you can see there, the spells aren't that high. Everyone's playing this champion. Like, it's in every single game.
All creation
The spell that you're not going to see the like WWs and the WQs very often. I should obviously be getting, hey, come to me. Okay. There it is. There's the move speed one. So that was the like Kiana Grass looking thing. It was WQ, I believe. This is his QW, a long range like Swain type spell.
To deny a crime.
Has been destroyed.
This is the QE, like burns. That was the ultimate. So the ultimate, once it attaches, it starts making this like bigger bubble and then getting like a big explosion. Alright, sorry guys, I will push this out.
An ally has been slain.
I wanted to see if we could kill that with the explosion. Yeah, it looks like the radius is actually pretty small in that pop. It must be about the same as Tristana.
A depth of flavor is what I covet.
I'm gonna eat up some shrooms. Alright, there's the fear. There's the burn. There's the ult.
The river never stops.
Pretty big. There's the EE. I'm ready for you guys. Uh-oh. Whew. It's tough to tell the difference between all those spells, dude. Oh boy, we are huge. We're like enormous. What's making me bigger? This? For each 100,000 max health, gain 5% increased size. Okay.
Every river ends in me.
That's right, we just hit 5,000 here. Now we can block all the spells. Be a true frontliner for our team.
I refuse to succumb to culinary degradation.
This is a very casual crew, it looks like. I don't think we're going to be playing around much Barons here. So what's the scaling like on this? All right, 122. This, when I bought this, it said 33. This is based on health, so I'm getting really good. No, right there it is, 61. The 61 was 33 previously.
Dominating. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
A bargain is due.
There's not much I can actually stand to gain from this. Kind of actually wanted to give it to the other guy. I want to see how big this Hui can get, but this guy's actually already huge. Caster's Companion. Storm Surge. Caster's Companion's like a new Luden's Echo, but it holds up 6 charges. As a losing matchup for Samira, she needs to be able to one-shot. She can pass through. Anyone who has a pass-through that does auto attacks can fight those things and one-shot them. I don't know why it didn't buffer that spell for me. There's the WQ. Took a minute. It's not what I want those, but that's okay.
Shut down.
We can test this in the base now. I don't know what's going on. I'll have to look at my other settings and just kind of take pictures and go. Alright, there we go. Finally got rid of that. Okay, we finally got rid of that. Good. This guy wants to kite me here. Oh, that's gonna cancel it, right?
Your inhibitor has been destroyed. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill.
No biggie. Wow, what else can we look at? This will be good for Shield Bash champions. It's kind of artificially creating Galio, which will be interesting. Steric's Gauge is the same. What is this? Unending Despair. Every 7 seconds in combat with champions, deal damage to nearby enemy champions. Healing for 250% of the damage dealt. That's actually very interesting. It doesn't actually help you to be sticky, so it's only going to be good on people that are sticky. I don't know if I can handle much more PB. It's so random. Alright, let's get one try hard game in.
On offline games. It shows 3 regressions of chess.com ratings with FIDE Blitz Rapid Classical. In general, chess.com ratings are always higher than their FIDE counterparts. No surprise there, and the rating difference decreases with a higher rate.
That's because when people sign up and lose, they basically feed their rating to the active players, and then they don't play as much because they're just very casual players, especially after 2020.
Okay, more graphics. The map showcases all the games played. They scatter points in Europe and the US are roughly proportional to the number of games played in this location. If your city is missing, I'm sorry. By the way, so actually, now we're going to do just like geography for 5 seconds. So it's very clear that in the United States of America, we do not play chess that much. Like, this is New York. Obviously, big shout out to all my fellow New Yorkers. I did grow up in New York. So this big red dot is New York up here. I don't know if you can see my cursor. Is this like, am I going to actually get my geography of the US? This looks like, I think is this like Chicago right here? This big dot. I think you can see my cursor. I think this is like Chicago.
That's Chicago.
Right?
That's like St. Paul, Minnesota.
Is that Minnesota above it? Is that Minnesota? No, Minnesota's more center. That's
This is Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Is that like Wisconsin above
Yeah,
it?
where would this be? In Wisconsin?
This one is Chicago, right? It's Michigan?
No.
Wait, people actually play chess in Michigan? No offense to Michigan. It is? Okay. TIL, Hikaru's European. Anyway, okay, they play there. They play down here near Georgia. Why are they playing so much chess down near Georgia? That's interesting. And these are not spots. And by the way, look at Mexico. Apparently, people in Mexico are playing a lot of chess too. Who knew?
This is fascinating how it's like so condensed in Eastern Europe.
Okay. The top spots for the biggest upsets are all held by are held by blank, who entered Title Tuesday tournament with an astounding rating of 100. He defied the odds when he beat blank 2600 plus.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 is so good, the crew is giving every combination code names.
I got that sauce biscuit and some Tay-Tays.
Eggman and Saucy Boy. 2 hot coffees.
No matter what you call it, Wendy's breakfast is that breakfast. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie Bundles.
Plus, with the ELO system giving him an expected outcome of 0.0002%. I'm redacting the name in case of the data entry error and not sandbagging. Okay, so biggest upsets. Hikaru has the biggest upset. He lost to MBK90, who had a rating of 2,075. The odds of this are 892 to 1. David Howell, also known as Howitzer 14, has the second one. He lost to Sunny Start, rated 2,078, 230 to 1 odds. Hans Niemann has the third one, losing to the Magician, rated 2148, 109 to 1. I'm not going to click on the games. Nemo has the fourth highest. She lost to an 1800, Enrique Bugatti, 57 to 1. Daniel Naroditsky has the fifth one, 57 to 1. He lost to Mustafa Farid, 2004. Actually, this looks like one of these kids born 2004, 2516. Okay. Then we have Ali Reza losing to Agnes, 666, 78, 24.
We don't need all these. Can we skip these?
When we actually third, Sib Elephant, Vladislav Artemiev. Third. Now we have a. All right, so let's keep going. This table showcases the biggest upsets performance. Now we have a complete data. Now that we have the complete data, we can look at the overall performance of each player. Magnus Carlsen, 3266, 82.35. Second, Hikaru Nakamura, 3195, 81.38. Third, Sib Elephant, Vladislav Artemiev. Faruja of Alexander. When we went 10, 11, 12, best player was 83%. This is complete data, but I'm betting David Howell's performance is also probably based on a handful of events. So, okay. Oh, but that's win rate. So that means the actual win rates, not winning the tournament, right? That doesn't mean winning the tournament. That means the win rate itself. So if he's just spanking the 2600s and he loses to Magus in the final round, he's playing less. So if he plays, let's just say David Howell plays five Title Tuesdays and he scores 10 out of 11, but he loses the final round to Magus every single time. That means from 5 events, he has a great performance, but Magus is playing every week. I'm playing every week. So it does make sense. Okay. It could be a typo, possibly. Nothing interesting there. This table shows top-ranked players, Title Tuesday, parentheses, etc., etc. And it says Hikaru.
This is not really. He's reading through the whole thing. This whole debacle, though, right? Getting accused of cheating and then having all the statisticians come out and actually fill in the blanks. It's interesting. I agree with Hikaru. I mean, he literally puts every single game on stream, right? So between he and Magnus, who are always streaming, it's very hard to cheat against that player because you'll get caught because there's so many people watching. But also the fact that all their games are there while they're streaming and they have the technology to see whether or not his eyes are darting to another screen or anything else. Also, you see the speed that he plays with. It is impossible for him to be cheating, right? From watching him play. It's just like, it's not possible. And especially when he goes through calculations, it's like, this, I can do this. And he's calculating 17 moves live in his head. And then he goes, okay, yep, that works. And then he goes and pre-moves, right? The engine might give you a line, but it's not all forced. And unless it's all forced, he's, you know, you're not going to see all that stuff. So he goes and pre-moves 12 moves ahead, and you get some insane footage like that. Like, that doesn't happen when you're cheating. He's just playing very, very good chess. And improvement is real, right? Especially for someone like him who has gotten better at streaming and playing at the same time. And he's kind of like gotten into that zone where he knows exactly what he's trying to do, what he's trying to get done. All right, our team is awful against this.
ELO rating calibration. Ideally, ELO predictions should be extremely close with the empirical results that we see. If we predict that a player has an expected score of 0.2, averaged over a large number of games, the observed score should be exactly 0.2. But in reality, ELO suffers from significant biases.
It's true.
For example, chessistician Jeff Sona's investigation into the ELO system. Oh, it's probably a typo? Okay. Oh, it's a typo? That's disappointing. I'll put the link in chat so you guys can see it. There you go. It's on GitHub. Okay, chess.com expected versus actual. So it says performance or prediction error in this one versus offline. So it's assuming the offline model, I assume, is perfect. So it's prediction error. It says, note, I calculate the expected score always based on the winning probability of white, as the formula does not take into account the fact that white is more likely to win. The expected score is slightly overestimated. We see the same error for chess.com. Even with much higher activity and more sophisticated rating system, chess.com still suffers from the same biases. However, this is not a problem for our analysis. We're not interested in the absolute expected score, but rather the change in the expected score between the two time periods and conditions, online versus offline. Okay, rating calibration. As cheaters will have a rating that's higher than their true rating, we need an external data source for the ratings. As discussed in the introduction, we download all available FIDE ratings, match up to chess.com ratings, and we keep going. And it says chess.com ratings, FIDE Blitz ratings. Again, I don't particularly understand what this is saying. Expected ratings, expected result. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what this means. I got to be honest. I'm not a statistician. But I feel like it should be very close to the middle line, right? The caption below the graphs explains it. The figure displays the calibration of chess.com ratings compared to different FIDE ratings. Unsurprisingly, best source data are the chess.com ratings with a mean absolute error of 0.35. In second place with FIDE Blitz ratings with an absolute mean error of 0.38. FIDE standard wrap ratings slightly worse with a mean error of 0.39. The fact that FIDE ratings are roughly comparable to the chess.com ratings in terms of calibration is a great sign, as it means that we can use FIDE ratings to estimate the expected score of a game. Okay. Error over time. Okay, so we have some errors. It says the figure shows the error of 4 different conditions. First, the blue line represents prediction error using chess.com ratings. Second, the green, red, yellow represent error over time using the official FIDE ratings for the online games. Lastly, the black line shows the error over time. Again, I'm not going to pretend to
I'll hold that on for later. Too many smurfing accounts. Saw someone playing Cylon. Come on, man. I don't know. Should I just leave this guy alone? Typical doomer. Maybe we can't play. Maybe it's going to be cursed. I should 100% be doing this on my other account. That's cool. That's cool. Probably missed my window to spend the world. No, the World's Things probably ends tomorrow. Much excite icons. Is this all going to be icons? God, I wish they would stop doing this. Hey, we got a new emote. Emotes, I'm okay with. I actually have, I doubt you can see it, but the Timo, the brass Timo that's up there, that was from my time working as a R&D at Riot. And they were talking about it. We had this segment about what sort of systems people want as prizes. Like, what other things can we give as people, you know, for reasons to play? And that's where they birthed the legacy shard, you know, the legacy stats. That's where we got the more, they wanted more icons, although frankly, I think most people are one, set it and forget it. And they tend to just pick their favorite and go from there. Emotes is a little bit more, right? You can use more with emotes, personalize your game, etc. But all the icons, man, it's just so many, right? Like, what's the point in having all of these? And it's not like it's a ticker that shows someone like all the things that you've done, nor like would you want it to have a lot of these, right? You'd want it to be narrowed down to the things that you care about, to be like, yeah, like I won Clash, yeah, I, you know, played in this event, I donated money, you know, things like that. Like, those are probably the things that people will care more about, right? Like, there's only like 0.5% of players not even have this. That, you know, that's cool. That's its own individual thing. I'm still not excited about changing. I don't know. Are you guys? Maybe there's people who are. All right, what are we doing about this? We have 0 event tokens, so it doesn't matter. But on the other account, we do. Ends in 12 hours, so we'll have to do it on the other account. You know what? We don't have time for one of these. We do have time for one of these. If we need to get away, we'll get away.
Understand what this is saying exactly. I see him in Chess Boom is right here in the middle. Black Grav is offline, so I mean I see that the line is less straightforward. I don't know if that means much, but it's, yeah. So the mean is 0.038 is the mean error, right? So it's saying the blue line is most predictable. If I understood above, I think so. This is Class A geometry. I don't claim to be a genius.
This is Vegamore's biggest sale of the year. From root to tip, Vegamore is the
Genius or understand most of this, but again, it's interesting to see. So it says that chess.com ratings are much more accurate due to a higher activity online. This is not surprising. However, we also see the error for offline games is lower than the error for online games. Visually, we do not see any difference between the pre-hype and post-hype period. Okay, interesting. So it's basically saying there's no big difference in this line versus this line before and after. Okay. Analysis, difference and difference. To test whether there's a significant difference between the change in error between the online and offline.
Who knows? Who knows? Oh, we're just gonna chill. Get one of these games in. There's my unit that I want. Do we go with superfans here? Superfans, headliner gets a completed item. Could probably win streak off of that. It's also sentinels, so we could easily build into this. Let's go for it. 1 hex, 180 magic damage. To all adjacent enemies, heal Lilia for 180 and her nearest ally for, wow, okay. And it has 400% scaling? This champion's insane. It hits all adjacent enemies, so you can go Ionic Spark, Titan's Resolve, and probably Gunblade. You should be in a fantastic spot. This guy's never gonna die. And he's farming 8-bit the whole time. Shit, that's the worst case scenario for me. What do we do if we win? Do we pre-level and then screw our economy over for the whole game? Sentinel's super strong. Yeah, this unit's just so insane. No headliner. Oh, if she doesn't get a spell off, that sucks. The Guardian shield went off at the wrong time too. It's gonna be a big shield on Kennen though. We should have plenty of damage here. So this will transition well, right? So we can play Superfan into Garen and then get the 8-bit rolling as well. Should be okay. Alright, we got country. Tough to say. Probably edgelords, true damage edgelord. Another country. Alright, so they're fighting over country. That's fantastic for me. My 8-bit will be uncontested. I should have a free Corki here. I'll just slam this. Blockers. Alright, 8-bit edgelord. Do we level up yet? I think we would do it for this, right? And just get the Sentinel for our team buff. Could just play it over the Corki. We went really late into the game without getting 8-bit off, which kind of sucks. You definitely want to be winning fights 100% once you go 8-bit. We'll do it. It's kind of obnoxious because it's going to put us at 6, a little bit harder to round out our team comp. But this should give more free time for the Corkis to do their work here. Now we can go for like Kaisa next. Get the KDA bonus and keep big shot. Could always sell this as well, right? Like Corki, I don't know how good Corki's going to be at carrying. I think Corki's biggest value is the fact that no one else is fighting for him. It's the undefeated guy. It looks like he's building a similar team to me. Yeah, like look how far ahead of me he is. He is 17.5 bonus. I'm only at 10.5. That Cassante is just damned unkillable. I should reverse those. I'm leaving a lot of damage on the table here. By not winning these fights, it means that I'm leaving damage out there. I'm not getting the maximum health every single round, which means my 8-bit's way behind, so my scaling's behind. And it's kind of like this snowball effect that's going to be really, really bad for me. You absolutely want bows when you're big shots. This guy can go like the Jazz team. KDA big shot. Kaisa actually feels too strong. Dash up to 2 hexes and fire out a missile at the current target. So if you put her in the front line and have her heal, this number should get kind of absurd, shouldn't it? Interesting. Probably should have just pivoted this in. Car's a little bit faster. %, should have Kaisa up further up. Oh, do I sell the Corkies and stop rolling and just go for Lucian and company, go for Rivens? 8-bit big shot. I mean, I'm playing 8-bit big shot, so I'm supposed to be going for Corkies, right? No one else is going Corky, right? Is this guy? No, even he's not doing it. Scan first. Yep. This is what my team wants to end up looking like, but he's trying to carry Misfortune, which it looks like he's getting pretty close to doing. Yeah, he's got the Jazz lineup. That makes sense. I think more often than not, that's probably the better path to take. Going in slow motion here. Got annihilated. Don't actually think I want to get this guy up, do I? Health percentage goes up. No, it's just a ratio. Oh, the ratio goes up. The next attack. This Jazz guy's sold his thing, so he's finding a new. Oh, those are good for Ezreal, right? Try like this. I haven't used her yet. This only hits one target though, right? Yeah, it's only the first enemy hit. Yeah, that's no good. Actually, that Morello is just going to be awful. Do I sell the Kaisa, put it on here? Yeah, that's what I'll do. Whew. All right, how's the turn? So we need 2 more levels. We'll get both of these. 2 more levels. We'll also... No, there's no room for Lucian until we get to level 9, right? That's probably the better way to build this team. Skip the Corki, although the Corki's getting both benefits. I don't know, maybe it just shouldn't be 8-bit if that's the thing. But 8-bit giving you Caitlyn and Corki. Your 8-bit champions gain the attack damage, right? So it's got to be Corki as the carry. So you want to draw the middle aggro? I think you want to draw the middle aggro. Off with these guys, have them dash away. We'll go for Jhin and we'll go for Lucian. Bard was bugged for me last time. It's kind of my favorite character, but I don't think that I'm going to play it again until I figure out exactly what's going on with it. We are at 6, so it's got to be now. There's a Lucian. I don't know if this is right. It's probably not. Because I think I'm indifferent to grabbing... I mean, Jhin. No, Jhin seems a lot better. Wave damage, this is nothing. Should I just use this for gold? I think at this point I should. Because I'm not going for misfortune, and I've got all my other 3 stars, so yeah, we'll just use it for gold. I think we lose. That's going to be the end of us. 5th place. Unless we get a miraculous carry here. No way. Alright, that's going to be it for me. Gotta go pick up the kiddos. Thanks for hanging out. Medusa, if you're still here, make sure to add me on Discord, all right? Let's talk. All right, we'll talk later. Peace, guys.